Bonjour! Annyeonghaseyo! And como estas, cabrikadas? We are so excited to be with you again. It has been such a long time. Did you miss me? Well, I know I did. But anyways, cabrikadas, we are excited to bring you a fun-filled and, of course, a faith-filled episode for today. Featuring the Ecclesiastical District of Southern Ontario, we'll be featuring their 2023 in cinema entry, Brave Hearts, and all of the behind-the-scenes happenings and how they build and produced this amazing story. So without any further ado, you are now watching CFO Today International. Now let's go to Southern Ontario.
Beautiful day to all our CFO viewers all over the world. I'm Sister Gail Miana.
And I'm Sister Maria Revelo from the Ecclesiastical District of Southern Ontario, Canada. We are your hosts for this episode of CFO Today International.
Sister Marie, I am so excited about our show today because our guest will actually give a glimpse of what it's like to live here in Canada, specifically here in Southern Ontario.
That's right, Sister Gail. And today's show is called A Day in the Life of a CFO Member, wherein our guests will share their experience, how they manage life as a student, a parent, while still fulfilling their family and spiritual obligations.
How exciting. Now, Sister Marie, on the topic of a day in the life of, I know that you're a busy mom, you write scripts, you work on shows, you're a career woman, you're a wife. There's so much on your plate. How do you manage all of that?
Well, Sister Gail, you know how it is as a mom. You gotta do what you gotta do. And for me, my day starts with a big cup of coffee.
So that's mine.
Right? And also a lot of prayers. But Sister Gail, today is not about me. Let's hear it from our guests, shall we?
Of course. I'd like to introduce our first guest, Sister Sigrid Millari from the local of Niagara Falls. She's a mother of two, a wife, an IT professional, and she also has a duty in finance. She organizes the Unity Games for our district, and recently she won the Best Supporting Actress Award in the Cinema Regional Competition in Canada.
Thank you.
Wow, that's so impressive, Sister Sigrid. It's so great to have you here today. As you know, today's theme is a day in the life of a CFO member. Tell us, Sister Sigrid, what does a typical day look like for you?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here today.
Of course.
So my day starts waking up in the morning, getting ready for work, driving an hour to work, and then go home, and then feed the dogs, prepare dinner for the family, and if I have time, go to the gym, and then go home, maybe have dinner, clean the kitchen before going to bed. As you know, moms always like to keep their kitchens clean, and then sleep and start all over again.
Wow, that's definitely a hectic schedule. How do you manage work-life balance and, on top of that, still fulfill your duties in finance, do the Unity Games, and manage to participate in the cinema?
Yes, you have to love what you do. So being a mom, first of all, I love being a mom and caring for my family, as well as working, and I love my job as well. So my job is challenging and stressful at times, but it's very rewarding as well. So, and I use that in my performance, in the finance, as well as preparing for Unity Games, which every year it happens. So yes, so it's a lot of work, but because I love what I do and the fulfillment of having everybody enjoy themselves is the reward for me.
So how does your faith, being a Church of Christ member, help you cope with the challenges that you come across every day?
Yeah, so my faith is very strong. I'd like to think that my faith is very strong, especially throughout this pandemic. So especially for me, losing my job last year, but because my faith in our Lord God never wavered, I prayed. Of course, you're scared.
Yes.
But I prayed every day, and a month after, I found a job much better than what I was doing previously. So
Better
because-
pay, I suppose?
Oh, definitely. That helps too. But I think having a strong faith and never wavering and knowing that God will never, ever leave your side is the strength that I have. And because of that, I am more confident in performing my duties in the church.
Thank you so much, Sister Sigrid, for sharing that and for being an inspiration for others. Now, let's take a peek at the movie Braveheart, where you played the role of Margaret.
So don't let self-doubt get in the way of your dreams, okay, honey?
Sister Sigrid, that was a really nice film. When you received the Best Supporting Actress Award, how did you feel about that?
Oh, yeah,
What was the experience like?
So watching the clip brought back memories of late nights and a lot of memorizing.
Yep.
So at first, I didn't think I was capable of doing the part. And with the help of Sister Marie and Sister Lev, and their encouragement, they convinced me to do the part. So with that, I was very scared and nervous, but because of their help and guidance, I was able to fulfill the role of Margaret. And also because being a mom, it helped me be the person Margaret was to her son. And because I have two boys, so I was able to go into the role and use my own experiences with my children. And I think that's why I was able to do the role properly, right? And as for winning the Best Supporting Actress Award, that was just a bonus. So I never expected that, but I was very, very happy and it was a very humbling experience for me. So I have Marie and Sister Let to thank for giving me that opportunity and putting myself out of the box, like you would say,
Yes.
my comfort zone. So it was very nice.
Indeed. Well, you did a wonderful job playing
Thank you.
Margaret.
Right.
And, we couldn't have asked for anyone else to play that part but you. So,
Thank
Sister
you.
Sigrid, thank you so much. We wish you all more power to
Thank
do
you.
all your
Yes.
daily endeavors.
Thank you so much for having me. It was
You're
a
very
pleasure.
welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The words of God came true, like from a distant land. He chose a messenger to bring all people to the true church. Yeah, through trials came along the way. He kept his trust in God that this world will be victorious. Let's celebrate and praise our God above for His blessings and mercy.
That was amazing, Sister Aldria Baguio from the local of Niagara Falls. Sister Aldria was the winner for the CWS Songs of Faith, Love, and Hope District Competition in 2022 and 2023.
Wow, congratulations, Sister Aldria. Now, we want to know more about you. Today's show is about a day in the life of a CWS member. So we have a few questions for you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
We were so amazed by your performance. How did you become so good?
Since I was a toddler, I loved singing, and I always saw my tita, my tito, and my mom on the choir loft.
Wow. Do you want to be a professional singer when you grow up?
Yes, I do, but if God will allow me, I will be very thankful for that.
Amazing. How old are you?
I am 7 years old.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have 2 sisters,
Younger or older?
older and younger,
What are their names?
Ainsley and Ari.
Nice. And what grade are you in?
I'm in grade 2 book.
So tell us about your day. Like, how do you start your day?
I start my day with a prayer and to protect me and my family, and I mostly play with my sisters after school.
That's impressive. So on weekends or after school, what are you typically busy with? What kind of activities do you do?
I am busy in church doing my duty.
What is your duty again?
I am a choir member and
Oh, in the children's worship service?
Mhm.
Great.
Thank you so much, Sister Aldrea. You're a rising star, and I
Future
heard you're going to be a future doctor.
Doctor.
Amazing. Thank you so much again
Thank
for joining
you.
us today.
You're welcome.
Our next guest is Brother Jaden Nepomuceno, a Binhi member from the locale of Milton.
Brother Jaden is a senior in high school and performs as CWS coordinator. He is into basketball and loves performing arts. He also won the Best Supporting Actor in the regional competition in 2021 for cinema film 113. Brother Jaden plays a role in the recent film Brave Hearts by the District of Southern Ontario, Canada.
Welcome, Brother Jaden.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Now that you're in your senior year, we understand that this must be a very busy time for you.
Yeah, it's very busy
right?
indeed.
Planning for your future education. Tell us,
Yes,
what
Lord.
does a typical day look like for you?
Well, as someone who's in high school and is in his last year of high school as a senior, currently, I wake up in the morning, I get dressed, take a shower, eat my food, prepare so I'm ready for the rest of the day. I go to school, I hang out with my friends, I attend classes regularly, and then after that I come home, I take a bit of a power nap a bit so I feel re-energized for the rest of the day. And after that, after I take my nap, I usually play some basketball here and there. Sometimes if I have time, I go work out. And as much as I can, I try to stay consistent with school. So, for example, often I'm handed in, my teacher gives me like many assignments. So I'm really making sure like I'm putting a lot of time towards getting good grades from my last year and really staying consistent. So that's something I've been doing recently.
Good for you.
Yes.
Now,
thank you, sister.
what kind of impact does having a duty in the church have for you in your day-to-day life?
Yeah, having a duty in the church really changed my mindset. Growing up in the church it's such an amazing thing, and I feel super blessed that I have the opportunity and I was given the chance by God to have duties and like be able to participate in these small projects and be more involved with the church and all its activities. So that's something I never really took for granted. But yet again, it's definitely impacted me in my life. There's so many times where I would feel stressed because of school or because of just the idea that it's my year where I have to do really good. And sometimes when I feel super overwhelmed by all these different expectations kind of going back and forth, I really take a moment to take moments throughout my day to turn to God in prayer and reflect on the situation, build that relationship with Him. And yeah, it's something where I'm stressed throughout school and stuff like that. I can always come back to these activities and just feel super welcome and super comfortable.
Glad to hear that, Brother Jaden. Well, at this time, we will be watching a clip from one of your films, 113,
Okay,
where you played the role of Jordan.
Yes, okay. I can't believe this is where we're gonna end up.
End up? What do you mean?
Video games, social media, streaming movies, online school. I just can't do it anymore. I miss hanging out with friends. I miss watching movies, watching live games.
So your role in that movie, it is so relevant these days,
Yes,
right?
yes, I
What
agree.
is your message to other people your age who are struggling with different challenges in life?
That's a really good question, sister. I must say, this movie 113, it demonstrated a lot of things. We all experienced the pandemic. We've all been through that life, the 2-3 years quarantine. We had so much time to reflect, and through that, we had to learn to adapt to this new lifestyle, and it also created some conflicts. Like, for example, mental health factors. Like a lot of people I find these days, especially my age, or even people who are older, right? They get stressed out. They feel a lot more anxious. So I think the most important thing to do for that is you can't really change the situation or the circumstance you're in, but what you can do is you can take deep breaths, you can meditate, you can tell yourself positive things, and most importantly, realizing that it's not something that you have to face alone. And as someone who sometimes struggles with anxiety, right? It's not something that's easy to talk about, but at the same time, it's good to turn to family, to friends, and most importantly to our Almighty God in prayer and tell Him what you're going through.
Absolutely. Brother Jaden, what was the most memorable experience for you when you're in cinema productions?
Yeah.
And what is your message for others?
It's so hard to choose. There's so many moments, Paul, where it's hard to choose just one, because I think back to those in cinema days, very far to 113. So many great times, so many people I met, so many familiar faces I got to work with. Example being Carl Firma. I've known him since I was a really, really little kid. So getting to work with him again has been such an amazing experience. But yeah, I would have to say that as someone who grew up really shy, people knew me for being a really shy kid. I would have to say, like, if you want to do something, pursue something, whether it's acting or maybe singing in the church. There's a lot of different activities, unity games, basketball being another example. If you're someone who's shy, I would say just take that first step. I kind of had to tell myself that multiple times, like, the first step is always the hardest.
Yes.
Things always seem very impossible. I remember when I first auditioned for 113, I auditioned for it. I didn't know if I was gonna get the part, but this was a big step up for me because I'm someone who's not really that outgoing at the time. But it's definitely helped me build a lot of confidence. I definitely learned a lot of amazing things, made a lot of new friends, and it's amazing to get those experiences because you realize that it's not as hard as you think it is compared to what your mind is telling you up here, right? So for the binhis or for the kadiwas or booklets who may be feeling shy or anxious, like me, I can confidently say that take that first step. It's not as hard as you may think it is. It may seem scary at first, but I will say it does get a lot easier as you consistently put yourself in those uncomfortable situations.
Wow, thank you so much, Brother Jaden,
Thank
for
you,
what you've
Sister
shared
Jo.
with us today.
Yes, Paul, thank
and
you.
we hope to continue to see you in more activities.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks for your time
Thank you
today.
so
Thank you
much,
for having me,
Brother
Paul.
Jaden.
Thank you.
When moments seem so tough, you brought me close to God. When I bow and pray to Him, you help me face my worries. I trust all my life to Him. I will
amazing.
Thank you, Brother Carl. That was impressive as always. He sang the song When It's Time, which is the theme song for the 2020 in cinema film, A Time for Us. Brother Carl, you're from Mississauga North and hold a duty as choir member.
He was also involved in the many of the district's productions and musical activities, like in cinema, where he first made appearance in Dear God and I Am Joseph, also A Perfect Day.
Actually, Sister Marie, I played Sister Gail's movie son in 2 out of the 3 movies, right, Ma?
That is right.
That's
and
right.
from then on, he started calling me Ma. This is my son.
That's right. And Brother Carl was also in Center Stage One Hope, remember that? Also in concerts and singing many of our INC original music. He was also the regional winner for the Songs of Faith, Love and Hope in 2022.
That's
So
a lot.
tell us, what else keeps you busy, Brother Carl?
Well, Bo, it's never-ending projects. Even now, Bo, I'm still currently working on so many church projects. Some include Songs of Salvation, Songs of Faith, Love, and Hope. And I'm just so grateful to God that He's allowing me to use the talent to be able to work on these projects, Bo.
Wow. So, would you like to share us what your dreams and aspirations are?
My biggest dream that I hope to fulfill one day is to perform in the Philippine arena and to be able to sing with the other talented brethren across the world. I have been blessed with the opportunity to collaborate with other brethren virtually, and so it would be a blessing to be able to meet them in person and sing with them too.
That is not impossible.
That's right. Maybe that dream will come true.
Yes.
Now, Brother Carl, with all these activities and responsibilities that you have, how do you manage student life? I think you're still a student, right? Family and your spiritual life.
Firstly, you should only take on as much as you can handle. Secondly, keep yourself organized. I use a personal planner every day to keep
Great.
track of my assignments, due dates, and church projects. And lastly, and most importantly, is to stay prayerful. And that's what keeps me grounded
Absolutely.
and focused.
Well, thank you so much, Brother Carl, for sharing your insights. And son, thank you for that beautiful performance you had today.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister Marie, for having me, Bo.
Our final guest for today is Brother Dennis Colliantes. He is from the locale of Mississauga North, a deacon, a husband, a father of 2, and an animation manager in a Toronto-based animation company, who also played the role of Felix in the movie Bravehearts. Let's welcome Brother Dennis.
Welcome, Brother Dennis. So, you are a producer for an animation company. What does that mean? Can you describe to us what the work entails?
Actually, I'm an animation manager currently in my role at my studio, but that involves, it requires me to manage a few animators, actually more than 20. And at this point, we group them into groups of 3, and I have a few leads to kind of help manage them. But what we do in video games is we create what we call cinematics, where you tell the story in a video game. And so my animators help bring to life those characters that come on screen.
Wow,
Amazing.
interesting.
Now that we know what you do, what does your typical day look like for you as, a husband, having 2 children, and also managing your spiritual life? What does that look like?
Well, it can get pretty hectic sometimes, as you can imagine. On some days, my wife, she works out of town, sometimes flying out to Edmonton, so I have to play Mr. Mom sometimes, right? So I'll get up in the morning, I'll make the kids breakfast and make their lunches, and then drive them off to school. And then once they're well on their way, I'll either head into the office myself, put in a few hours with my workmates, and on some days, which is really cool, we have flexibility of working from home remotely. So that's actually quite useful, because then I could maybe, if my wife's still in town, sneak away and have a lunch date with her, But as the day wraps up and work starts to wrap up as well, I'll we'll hopefully have dinner ready, and my mother-in-law is actually there to help us and take that pressure off of us. And so once dinner's over, I'll either have the time to take my son to a volleyball practice or take my daughter out to one of her friends' house or to the mall. They like to be mall rats.
Right.
And then afterwards, if I have time for myself, I will, work out. So keep healthy, stay strong. But during the week, we try to schedule ourselves for some spiritual guidance. So sometimes we even host at our home Bible study, or sometimes during the week, we'll end up attending at another household to also attend any propagation activities, right?
Wow. Sounds like a really busy schedule.
That's right.
And you played the part of Felix in the film Bravehearts, but being involved in productions behind the scenes as an animation manager, how does it feel like being on the other side now as an actor?
You know what? It was actually quite fun. Being exposed to working with different actors and actresses on the floor at my work, you get to see how they work and what's important to them. And a lot of times the directors, what they're looking for is believability in their performance.
Absolutely.
So I took that to heart, and it wasn't that much of a far stretch for me to perform the role as a father of two in that movie. So my son having turned 14 recently, I actually gave him a gaming laptop.
Okay.
Right? Before I even saw the script to this movie. So it was very relatable. And so it wasn't very much of a far stretch for me to think about what would this character do? Because I pretty much kind of felt into that role
It was
right
easy
away.
to step right into it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he was a natural in that film.
He was. Well, speaking about the film, now let's watch a short clip of Brother Dennis playing the part of Felix in the film Braveheart.
Sounds good.
Put God first, Kai. From the moment you wake up, you lay down to rest. Trust Him in all things. I promise you, you'll feel God's immense power and blessings in your life.
So, Brother Dennis, in the movie, what do those lines mean to you as a parent? What was your message to others, like children and parents alike?
It's funny you say that. There was a line that was in that movie, and it was, put God first. And it really struck me in my heart because I kind of used that in my own life beforehand. And when you prioritize God, it kind of helps you make those important decisions in life, right? So it makes it quite easy to stay on that righteous path. And so my message to other parents out there is to impart that to their children. Make sure that they're always putting God first. No matter what challenges that come in their life, they can always rely on God, pray to Him, ask for guidance, right? And so that, to me, is, I think, pretty important to share.
Yeah. And that will actually help everything fall into place, right?
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Brother Dennis.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of A Day in the Life of a CFO in Southern Ontario, Canada. We would like to thank all our guests, Sister Aldrea, Sister Sigrid, Brother Carl, Brother Jaden, and Brother Dennis.
And this showcases the day in the life of our CFO members, our youth, Buklod, CWS, Kadiwa, and obviously shows us that we are not different from anyone.
So this wraps up our episode of CFO Today International from the District of Southern Ontario, Canada.
And before this turns into another 30-minute show, we would like to say thank you for watching, and we hope to see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Well, there you go, Kabrekadas. We do hope that you enjoyed today's episode and that you have learned something valuable, maybe when it comes to producing a movie, sharing all the life experiences of our brethren around the world, and of course, above all, using our talents when it comes to giving glory to our Almighty God. And although this episode has come to its end, worry not, because tomorrow on the weekends, we still have Unity Games International and of course, CFO Updates. I am Sister Nina Nobelio saying stay inspired by Christian living only here in CFO Today International. Goodbye everyone and stay safe. Bye-bye.